Yo, what's up? Here we go. It's Knowledge and Love with another show. Got a super fly guest you want to see. It's a Pisces lady and she's hanging with me. It's Virgo time for Pisces season. And don't you understand that I rhyme for a reason? Yeah, she's bringing you the soap and herbs. And I want you to know that I got the verbs, the pronouns that get down and can't you see? My adjectives are super alive, B. Yes, it's episode 3 or 4. After this, you're going to want some more because she's going to read some tarot cards like you've never seen before. Trust me, you'll want some more. So you're going to hang out with Miss Paris, yo, and book some readings with her too, yo. That's it. Now we see it's time to start Knowledge is Love Astrology. Ooh, What's up, y'all? It's Eric Taylor, Big E Astrology, with another amazing episode. I am so excited for my guest tonight. On episode 304, I have an author, an herbalist, a nutritionist, a soap maker, and a tarot card reader. I introduce to you tonight Miss Paris Williams. How are you, my friend? Welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
I am so happy that you're happy. Oh my gosh. And you know what? You understand that rhyme more than most because not only are you the Pisces, you're the Cap rising, I'm a Cap moon, and you're the Virgo moon, and I'm the Virgo sun. So that
That's
full
crazy.
moon energy, that speaks a lot to like what you are here on the health axis and you are dancing in your chart. So when it comes to health, what made you get into becoming the nutritionist and the herbalist? How did that happen?
Oh my God. I've always been really into health. I worked at a bookstore, and the bookstore we had all types of like tonics. Um, you know, I can't really pinpoint exactly when I started really getting into health. I know I was always into like fasting. I remember one of the first books I read was How to Eat to
Mm,
Live. And I was really into fasting at the time. And then I started taking my bitters. And so once I had my baby, my grandmother, she's a Virgo
oh,
as
wow.
well. How interesting is that? But she introduced me to like yoni steaming and like the traditional yoni steam. This is before it was very popular. She took herbs from her country, Honduras, and she made me drink certain teas. She knew how to induce my labor with
Whoa.
herbs.
Did you do a home
Yeah.
birth?
No, I didn't get to do a home birth, but when I tell you my grandma, she knew what she was doing. It was crazy. By the time I got back from the hospital, she wrapped me up. She knew what to do. She knew how
That's
to do
right.
it. Um, and then right after I had the baby, that's when COVID
Okay.
happened, and I went straight into the herbs. I bought an encyclopedia book of
Mm.
herbs. That was the first book I got, and then I started taking herbalist classes. I took the European herbalist class. I also took Chinese
Oh,
medicine, and I started to get into Dr. Lila Africa, which was really like where I started to pivot when it came down to the
okay.
herbs.
What? So did you
Yeah.
notice a difference between the three?
Oh yeah. One thing I like about like African traditional herbs is that just like the Caribbean, there's certain herbs and barks that are like you just it's you can't match it, like doing Western like medicine, you learn about lavender, chamomile, the
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 regular
regular.
traditional, yeah.
But when you learn about barks, you learn about like a sarsaparilla,
Yeah.
soursop. You learn about burdock
Yes.
roots and different types of roots. These are things that it hits differently. It cleans the blood out. There's vines, right? There's a vine called cerasee vine that's from Jamaica. They have it in Costa Rica. These vines is everywhere in the Caribbean, right? And Central America, but they don't know about it,
Right.
right? So it's really good to know about the difference between like the African holistic health and more of like the, no
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
offense,
yeah.
no shade, but you know.
So then what was like did some overlap from the Chinese herbs to the African?
Oh yeah. What I love about what I loved about the learning about Chinese medicine, and similar to African medicine, is that the Chinese medicine, they don't mix barks with flowers, right? So if they're going to do barks, they're going to do barks. If they're going to do flowers, they're going to do flowers. And similar to the African holistic way, we don't blend the flowers with the
Okay.
roots. You got what I'm saying, because the roots take longer to extract than the flower, right? Because the flower is easy to extract, but the root might take a little longer. So when you actually mix the two
Right.
together, it counteracts.
Wow.
But I love to do the African, and even down to hoodoo, right? Because hoodoo medicine, Gullah Geechee, these type of medicines is like being able to interpret certain vines and barks and stems, and being able to incorporate it into herbal medicine, even physical
Mm.
medicine, right? So yeah, we're magical. We are
I know that's
magical.
right. So that's interesting because it makes me want to ask you a question. Because I think about Honduras, it makes me think about Dr. Sabi. Now, in terms of
Yes.
herbs, are there any particular herbs you may find in Honduras that maybe are indigenous to that land that are not in other countries?
Oh my God. I know the batana. We have the batana, and even down to the sea moss. We have the Conjurus crisp.
Yes, I remember
And
Dr. Sabi talking about that. Yeah.
Conjurus crisp is different from just the sea moss that everybody sees in America, right? Or if you go to St. Lucia, they have like the brown sea moss. The Conjurus crisp looks like a seaweed.
Mm.
And you don't have to like do too much with this sea moss. The only thing you need to do is just literally put it in some water, add some lime, and then it opens up, it expands. It's like living,
Oh, wow.
like a seaweed. And the only thing you have to do is just rinse it off, and then you just blend it. So you get the fullness of the sea moss. Then when you boil the sea moss from other
Wow. So that's
places.
why Dr. Sabi was all into. Okay, that's dope. I like that. That's really cool.
Mhm.
So, okay, so when did you start making the soaps?
Okay, so before soap making, I've been officially 7 years. My daughter's 7. I've been making cold process soap for 7 years, right? Because there's different types of
Okay.
processed soaps. There's hot process, there's cold process, and they have melt and pour. Um, and before I got into soap making, I was actually a fiber artist. I sew, I crochet. That's what I was known for, was more like
Wow.
crocheting and
Okay.
sewing. But I had to be realistic with being a mom, and I wanted to have a company that I could be able to produce, and then I could be able to really like sit back and just get the revenue of the soap. Then I would think about it. Black soap didn't really feel well on my skin. It was too itchy. It was too heavy. There was just too much going on, and we have that Virgo in it, so it's just like nothing really
We're very particular about
made
what's
me,
on our skin and the smells, everything.
like the scent was off, or the texture was off, and or it made my skin blotchy. So when I got into soap making, I really did it because I wanted to make bars that were 100% natural. And the best thing about why I started making soap is that I started to study
Ooh.
clays, different type of clay. So each soap has natural clays in it, from bentonite clay to red Moroccan clay, um, to green sea clay. You get what I'm saying? Kaolin clay.
Wow.
So each bar has different clays in it, and it removes all the heavy metals out the body. But when people use the soap, like certain soaps, you don't see dirt that comes out this. You're supposed to see dirt. You're supposed to feel the dirt come out your skin. This my soap, you will literally see the dirt in the shower. You will see it because it's removing all the heavy metals out your
Wow.
body. from the clays. And then I started incorporating the herbs inside the soap because I wanted to put my imprint in it. When I started making soap, there was not a lot of people of color making soap. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it different, And I also started to, another thing that I started to do was I wanted to build with other farmers. So I started to connect with people who produce their own honey. I started making friends that farm. I have friends from Jamaica that sends me soursop leaves. I get my barks from Costa Rica, Guyana. The list goes on. The list goes on. So one thing I love about the brand is that it's worldwide. It's worldwide.
So are you trying to
even
tell
out
me
to
that you're the
United
international soap maker?
Yes, whew, we trying. We putting it
I
out there.
love that. That is beautiful. Well, see, when
Yes.
you talk about all that stuff and just the ingredients and how you do it, yeah, you definitely would connect well with my wife because that's how she is with her organic and vegan body and skincare line. And so that's really powerful. And I love your intentionality, right, about having things to be, the natural herbs and plants and barks. And
Yes.
that's how it should be, right? Because God, nature is what can heal us, not
That's
pharmaceuticals
it.
and these chemicals and all that stuff.
Pharmaceuticals.
So this is pretty fascinating. And we'll get to everybody in the chat. Wifey's here. She's going to be reading the chat for us tonight. So she'll be coming in a second, you guys. But I got to ask you this. This is pretty fascinating. Who was 10-year-old Paris? And could she have imagined all of this that you're doing now?
Not at all. 10-year-old Paris, she was definitely unique in her own way. She was definitely unique in her own way. I would say I was very colorful, right? I love to put mismatched socks on and, wear whatever I want to wear. And that was like my way of self-expression. And my mom, she loved that because she's Aquarius. And she's like, listen, do what you want to do. My
Oh, that's
mom,
great.
she's always pushing me to be different, and even down to like, because I would be in the house and she'd be like, go outside. This is before like, she was like, go outside, go and enjoy stuff. She told me to go to the museum and to do certain things, and so 10-year-old Paris was someone that was still trying to find herself, but she was definitely unique. She was definitely unique,
Well, you know why you're so unique? With that Capricorn rising,
why?
you have Uranus and Neptune on the ascendant. So not
No.
only are you kind of literally like a shapeshifter, but you must
Yes.
get, well, you're obviously with the Pisces sun and Virgo moon, that alone is intuitive and psychic. But having Uranus and Neptune on the ascendant, like, do you just get like downloads all day long?
It's
It's gotta
crazy.
be like,
I have my notes is ridiculous. Between notes that I have on my phone, I always have like a notepad by my bed. I have books right next to my bed. I'm always reading something. So yes, I'm always getting downloads, and not only just downloads, but how to profit, how to make more
well, yeah,
things
because
happen.
that's so beautiful because the Uranus and Neptune are in Capricorn. So that means literally you are to have like this esoteric spiritual business, focus on health, compassion,
Yeah.
empathy for others, but to be the innovative vanguard futuristic rebel. Like, so yeah, I'm sure you were wearing different colored socks, but did you, when you were younger, did you do like any tattoos or different like piercings and three?
Yeah, I got gauges. I got my gauges at, well, not at 10. I started gauging my ears at 14. Um and in my family, we didn't get our ears pierced. We would do it the Caribbean way where we would just kind of like light the light the needle and then just like poke it in. So I was giving myself like piercings at like 13. And, I had all my ears pierced, and I always liked a different type of style. I never wanted
Yeah.
to fit in. As soon as something
You
got
were like, I'm,
popular,
I'm off of that, right?
I don't like it.
I love it. Well, that's what happens with Uranus on the ascendant. And would you say, well, you said your mom's an Aquarius, so she was very probably open-minded to all that, but do you have siblings? Are you different from everyone else in the family? Are you kind of like
I'm definitely different from the family. I am the only child on my
Okay.
mother's side. Everyone is Catholic,
Mm.
right? Um, so it's very interesting because I started to be a seer at age
Oh,
7, and like my mom had to take me to the Garifunas, and they prayed over me, and I think that even enhanced the gifts because I started to feel things, hear things.
in this
Um,
realm, or were you seeing spirits, ghosts, aliens? Are you seeing things from other dimensions as well?
I would just hear
Oh,
them. I
okay.
would hear them, and it was very scary because I'm like, what in the hell? And nobody in the family, well, maybe they did. They just didn't want to tap
Right, right.
into it, but nobody in the family was able to hear the things I've heard and to see the like being able to feel it because I would feel them. They'll either touch me or I hear them, or I will see them, but like from the side,
Yes, bro. Yeah,
peripheral,
yeah.
like I'll see them. Um, and it started to get a little bit
No, it
disturbing.
could be very
I
scary,
was
especially if you're starting at 7.
like, what is going on? I don't know what's going on. But yes, I was definitely different. And I always question just the religion part of definitely being Catholic. I didn't fit in with the Catholic. I mean, I love the saints. I pray to the saints, but when it came down to being Catholic all the way, I was like, I can't jack this.
No, I
You know.
totally get that. So let's bring in my better half, and she can come and check out who's here in the chat, and we'll ask some more questions, and then we'll get to the live tarot readings too, you guys.
Hello, hello, hello. How are
Hey,
you?
hi, I'm good.
I just came in from soccer with the boy, or no, not soccer, flag
Football,
football.
football. My
So
son playing football.
Oh
good
my
to see you.
goodness,
So let's get into it. I'm
it's good to
excited.
see you.
But do we have anybody? So what do we need? How are we doing this reading? Are people here to
Read?
give
No,
an
no, no. Right now,
information?
you're just reading the chat.
Oh,
That's what I just.
I'm so sorry.
That's
Forgive
okay.
me. Um,
It's okay.
let's see, who do we have here? We have Alet, Unique Understanding. Thank you. So good to
Hey,
see you.
Let.
You're here regularly. Bone Crusher.
What's
I
up, Bone
think Bone
Crusher?
Crusher
I
is
think you're new.
new.
You can share your big 3 if you
Yes,
want.
please share your big 3. We have Venus. How do we get this? It just the screen went really big. Um, we have Venus, um, Amantol. We have Stephanie Bostic.
Hey, Stephanie and
We have
Venus.
She Has Risen
She has
and
risen.
Olivia Hare.
Okay.
We have Stephen Lascala here.
What's up,
so
Steven?
good to see you. We've got J007.
Okay.
We've got
Any just saying hi or any questions?
everybody's
Okay.
mostly saying hello and blessings, which is
Hey,
wonderful.
you guys.
Thank
So all you new people, whoa, hold on. What do you gotta hit cancel? Okay, all you new people, let's make sure you guys hit the like button. Please subscribe. And Paris, I got a really important question to ask because you're an author. But before that, share with the audience your website and social media. We have everything down in the description down below, you guys. And make sure you guys follow her on all her social medias and her YouTube as well. Tell everybody how they can contact you on social media and your website.
Yes. Instagram is the main place that you could follow me, and I have a blue check. So there's only one Instagram, and it's PW Collections LLC. That's the main place that you can. And my website is also www.pwcollections.com without the LLC, pwcollections.com. And my YouTube channel is Saturn's Daughter 47.
Wow. I like Saturn's Daughter. That's a deep
Yes,
name.
yeah, for sure. You see the Saturn in
Yeah.
the back?
Well, that's that Capricorn. Listen, when
Yeah.
you're a Capricorn rising, I get it.
Yeah. Ruled by Saturn. Saturn has been, I had to embrace
You
Saturn,
do.
and love Saturn and learn how to maneuver with Saturn. But I feel like Saturn has been really well for me. Once I understood how to
Well, because you know what it
maneuver
wants
through
for you,
Saturn.
Paris. When you have Saturn as your chart ruler in the ascendant, but just also, like even for me with the Cap Moon, Saturn wants you to be organized and disciplined, respond to your abilities, put in the hard work, and don't get into the stress, fear, or anxiety. You know, because Saturn wants to give you more rewards and blessings than Venus and Jupiter ever can, but you got to put in the work.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, Saturn he be pressing and pressing me, man, like a panini. And you know what? I'm here for it because I know the results it's always good. And having that Virgo moon, I pay attention to details really
Oh, I
well.
know.
Like I'm always I study patterns, I study people. I'm into like psychology, so it's easy for me to be like, okay, I know what to do, what not to do, how I feel, I'm very good at like picking things up.
That makes sense. And the Virgo moon, not only is it really the most intuitive moon, Pisces, you're the most psychic moon, but Virgo's the most intuitive. And it feels the intuition in its gut and the stomach, right? Do you get sometimes
Wow.
you feel it,
Yes.
right? Like, and you just
Oh my God. It's so crazy. I didn't understand what that feeling was for
yeah.
years. I thought something was wrong with me. I'm like, what is going on with that stomach feeling? And there's some times where, like, I had one dream. I have a dream interpreter. I believe she's on here right now. She's heavily in my circle. And one time I had a dream, and the dream was, I just paraphrase it. I had food in my mouth. I had food in my mouth in this dream. The food was uncomfortable. Like I couldn't speak. And it was three people in the dream. And I got up and I just didn't feel well. I spoke to the dream interpreter and she was just like, be careful. Somebody here might try to like, I forgot what she said, silence you or something here might happen. Just be careful when it comes down to money as well. So long story short, I had paid for like to get my hair done. Never got this person, never met them on Facebook. Got robbed for only for $50. I went to the place. The place wasn't even a real place.
Oh
Um,
no.
it was crazy though. But when I was in the cab going to the spot, my stomach was hurting and I felt the food in my mouth, the same
Oh
type of food
wow.
in the dream. I felt like the taste. My mouth was like shut, and my stomach started to do the thing again.
See,
I'm like, oh
yep.
my, what the hell was that?
That Virgo energy, yeah, and it's so funny. It's like when they tell you your gut is your second brain, it's true.
It
And
is.
if you have any major Virgo placements, your brain is like your secret decoder. I mean, your stomach is your secret decoder because
You have my chart. Where's my Virgo
so
in?
you're the Capricorn rising with the Pisces sun. Your Virgo moon is in the ninth house, which is why you are
Oh,
to
nice.
write a book. We're going to talk about that. Perfect segue. But also, there's also this energy of, especially as you continue to get older, more mature, there's this energy. You're definitely going to probably have a second book, but also a lot of mentoring, guiding, and teaching. The Virgo moon is also got that like service to humanity, even like as a nurse or an herbalist, a nutritionist. Like Virgo moon is very, it's very powerful. So that's
Yeah,
you
in
yeah,
alignment.
no, totally in alignment. So we're going to get back to the chat in a second, but tell us about your book
Yeah.
and what made you write it. Share the name and the intention behind it.
Oh, yes. So my book is Breaking Barriers. Okay, it's a guided journal for emotional and mental
Ooh,
growth. And the reason why I had made this book last year, I was going through that big reassessment. I remember going on Lloyd Strayhorn show, and he said I was in that number 1 year, which was all about me, and it was all about me reinventing. And um, I started getting heavy into psychology and the mind and the human brain, and how to see the cycles, how to break the
yeah.
cycles, and so there was some things that I kept on dreaming a lot of the questions. I had a lot of dreams, and I just written down the dreams. And this book is it's a guideline to basically help interpret where you're at, reassess where
Mm,
you're at, because a lot of the times when we're on this journey, we don't really know exactly where we are.
yeah.
So I have pages on relationships, forgiveness and letting go, overcoming
Yeah.
fear, self-discovery and identity, exploring relationships. All of these pages gives you 3 questions on exactly what is pinpointing where you're at right now. And these are also great questions to ask to a
Yeah.
partner, friendships, business relationships. You get
Yeah.
what I'm
I
saying?
love that.
So this book, it's literally what it says, is a guided journal for emotional and mental growth. And it's also great for journaling. You ask the
Yeah.
question, you write it down, you can ask your friends, and you guys could journal together. You
I
get what I'm
love that.
saying? So I guess this will be under that shadow work
Well, that's
category.
important.
It will
And,
be-
it's so funny that you're saying that because, Paris, on the other side of that pain and the shadow work is the true healing and self love. So it's kudos to you for taking the time to do the introspection and write that book. But that's exactly what we all need to do and exactly what the collective really needs, because some people are extremely afraid of the shadow work, and you cannot be.
yes,
That you got to go through it, embrace that darkness
gotta
so
go
you can
through it.
really shine bright in the light.
That's the only
Yeah.
way. I don't like I one thing, like I don't know if this is a Saturn thing, but Saturn will keep on being strong. It will get stronger and stronger and stronger. The lessons will get harder and harder and harder until you realize I have to break
That's
this
right.
cycle. I have to break this cycle. And so this journal is really good for you to see what cycles. There's uncomfortable questions that's like, ooh, am I holding on to this? And what would I do if I just looked at it this way? You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's really
Well,
good
you
to
just
be
you
able to
just sort of went through
rewind.
your Saturn return a few years ago, right?
Yes. Oh my God, it was
I was
rough.
going to ask you. So that Saturn in Aquarius, second house. How did you do?
Woo! I mean, I went through a big shift when it came down to my finances. I went from doing culinary arts, that's where I went to school for, was for cooking, and I was in the back of the house. I hated it. Um, and I kept on like just having these it's just like slaps in my face. Like, man, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to be cooking for someone? Do I really want to be just going home smelling like onions and garlic and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just kind of over the food industry, respectfully to anybody that does
Yeah.
cooking. I love to cook. I love to cook for my family, my friends, for my
Yes.
daughter. But when it came down to actually cooking for other people, I
No.
hated it. I was just like, ugh. And that vibration goes into people's
Right. No,
food.
you're right.
So I feel like the integrity wasn't right. I couldn't, so I had that pinpoint where financially I just had to do something different.
Well,
I
kudos
had
to
to get
you
out of
for
that.
number one, having the integrity, but being able to see that and admit that and then
Yeah.
transmute it out and then segue and go in another direction. Because, you said something really deep about, and that's why, my wife is a really good cook. And that's why we don't, you have to be careful when you go out to eat in different restaurants, because you're
Yes.
right. What's in their hands and in their heart and their mind is going up energetically
Oof.
in your food. So,
Listen, I've worked in salad companies that's supposed to be fresh and vegan, and like all the companies I worked for were vegan companies, right? And there was times where the people in the back were they didn't even wash the knives out. They were using the tofu the tofu cutting board for the vegetable cutting board. There's different color cutting boards that you're supposed to use when you're doing, the back of the house. These people wasn't washing it. It was, they was walking around with their aprons. They was wiping.
oh
There's just
God,
too much. It was
that
just
that
really
that's
No,
hard for a
it's
Virgo.
really scary what people do. But what I've been wanting to say, I was so incredibly impressed by you talking about your energy, and for you to have the integrity to say, I don't have the right energy with this food, and
no.
therefore I should not be touching it, because very few people say that. And that took not only that integrity, but it took
Maturity
also,
and yeah,
I mean, a leap of faith,
Yeah.
because you said to yourself, if I choose to not do this for this reason, I will be provided for, and I will find another thing. Because a lot of people stay in something that they do not like, do not want, because they don't trust that there will be another way. And
Yes.
in case of the food, what's so big about that is that that was your love to people that you didn't even necessarily know who were eating your food. And we don't, we don't do, like I tell him half the time, we don't like going out too much anymore.
Yeah. You just don't know. You just don't know. They don't have no.
You don't need to absorb
in the seasonings, what they're putting in the food, the energy, how they
I worked for a
up.
short period of time in the food industry a long time ago, and all I know is it's dysfunction. Dysfunction. Yes. And I didn't have the stuff that you were talking about, or at least I didn't notice it back then because I was much younger and I was just the waitress. But the dysfunction I have heard and experienced it is
the back of the house is always crazy. You hear all the locker room talk in the back of the house. You hear the chefs talking about the people in the front, and I've worked at plenty of, like, I'm talking about upscale salad companies in the city, and those be the ones that is like the most dirtiest. And it's just like, wow. The last job I worked for, not going to say their name, but I walked out. And the day that I walked out, I was already making soap. I was already kind of doing my thing. I just had the second job. That was the next day COVID happened.
Wow.
And COVID happened, my soap pivoted. The soap company pivoted. It was up from there. So I just knew that was not for me.
Wow.
That's wild. Okay, so let's go back to the chat, and then we're gonna get into the tarot after that.
Mama Miss was saying that African soap isn't for indigenous Americans, copper-colored original peoples. And she really likes the idea of the clay in your soap, and I think that's really amazing as well. Yep. We had somebody asking about, can you please share remedies to heal type 2 diabetes, osteoarthritis, and to reverse cancer, I guess, to reverse cancer. Yes.
Okay.
There's herbs like soursop. Soursop is great for all of that. Diabetes, reversing the cancer. There's a vine called Cersei vine that I get from the Caribbean as well. That is really, really good. It's bitter, but it's really, really good. We have barks. Now, if you're doing over-the-counter drugs, then I wouldn't give you barks. I will only give you leaves. So soursop leaf you can still take over-the-counter drugs with. I have leaves if you're on the counter drugs, and then if you're not on the counter drugs, then I could be able to give you barks that could get straight to the bloodstream, help you with reversing it.
So please faster in the blood.
Barks go straight to the blood. And I have a few barks that are unique. Like there's a bark from Costa Rica called Coco Meca bark. It's a big bark, and you just put it in, you steep it, and it helps with so many things, cleaning the blood.
I've got some diabetes. Barks on my counter right now, and I got to figure out, because sometimes what you do is you get these herbs and you hear about them, but you don't really know how to do it. Like I had mullein, and I had somebody tell me like that I was putting way too much mullein. They go, you will detox yourself too much too fast. You do just a pinch of it. So people need to understand that we're so used to the American way of more is better, but it's really not.
Everything in moderation. So, that's what I like to blend a lot of my herbs with dandelion leaf, because the dandelion brings back everything that you're trying to release.
Wow, okay.
So if you're gonna do a detox like mullein, you should at least get dandelion to put back the iron, to stimulate the blood.
There you go.
Dandelion, you could add that to your salad dressings. You could add the dandelion leaf to everything, and it's such a great herb to have in the house.
Okay.
The children, it's child friendly. Everybody could take the dandelion. Like I said, you could cook with the dandelion if you wanted to make a salad dressing.
Do you like to use Paris? Do you like to use? Because we're really big on. I love the black seed oil and the oregano oil.
Yes, I have a tincture machine. I tincture the mullein. I tincture the oregano oils. And black seed, I like to get the seed itself. I like to get the seed itself. I don't like to get the oil. I'll get the seeds, and then I either will make the seeds into capsules, or I will tincture the black seed into making it into an oil. But I try to get the original root herb or whatever the plant so I could be able to play with it physically. Being able to make teas, just play with, scientifically.
That's great.
That's awesome. That
And
sounds like so much fun. I love playing around. I'm kind of dipping my fingers back into formulating right now for a particular partnership that I'm crossing my fingers are going to come together, and we'll be actually partnering with some actual plant medicine, putting that
Yes,
some
the best.
different things.
It's so much fun.
It's like,
just to be able to
I
feel
make
it.
stuff, but I haven't been formulating in a while because I've been just using formulas that I have. So this is a lot of fun. Going back to the soursop, how do you steep the soursop? We hear about that. Everybody, like, you see all these videos about it. I'm sure people in the chat maybe have even bought soursop. I have a bag of soursop leaves. How do you, like, what do I need? Like 2 leaves for a pot of water, 5 leaves? What would you say?
I do 3 to 4. And you want to do like 2.5 cups, 2.5 cups of sour. If you're going to do 3 to 4 for it to be very potent, put it on low heat until it gets nice, and add some cinnamon to it. Get a cinnamon bark or ginger. Or cinnamon and ginger with the soursop, and you got a double pack right there.
That sounds
so
good.
You hear that?
All right, you guys.
Paris just told you soursop leaves, ginger, and cinnamon. I'm gonna want to hear how y'all are simmering it. You know what? I need to go buy some ginger. I ran out just a few days ago, but I'm gonna make it this week. So I want some people to tell me what they've done. Let's see. We've got
some more questions.
Danny's here. Jolie James is here.
Hey, Jolie
and she
James.
says she loves this. She's a Pisces ascendant.
All right,
I had
Pisces
tattoos and a few piercings too.
Okay.
Rose Gold is here.
Hey, Rose Gold.
Venus Amanatold. I think we talked about that already. I think you're new. Have we heard her before?
Yeah.
So at some point, if we don't get you on this show, come to another one and we can do.
Yeah, you guys can always come back. I like to do, for all my new guests,
And
I like to do their sun, moon, rising, their big threes.
Venus, I might be saying this wrong. Amatol would like a reading.
Okay.
And let's see, we've got J007. Hello. And let's see. They're saying hello to you. I'm sure they probably want to read.
Okay, so you guys, listen, we're going to start now. Paris is going to do some intuitive tarot card readings for you guys. So you guys, do you like them to just share their birth date?
Yes, please. The question should be clear. I don't need a lot.
Okay. Well, if you guys want, what you could do is put your birth date and then ask like a very direct question, so it's easy for Paris to check in, and wifey will read them, and let's have some fun and get started with it. Because let me tell you guys, Paris, you already know, Uranus, Neptune on the ascendant, and she's born on a full moon, and she's a Pisces with a Virgo moon. You about to get some real deep readings, okay?
And just on a side note, Venus, we need to get your question. But at some point, what I want you to do is I want you to email Eric at BigEAstrology, because she's asking how to spell these herbs. So you need to send us an email so that we can write it up and send you an email back.
Okay. No, definitely. That's really important because, that's the thing, Paris. And it's such a great question from Venus, because some people just don't know. They've never been exposed to sea moss or burdock root or sour sap. Some people, when we're in these spiritual spaces, we take it for granted because it's just like we hear this stuff and then we use it, we play with it, whatever. But there's a myriad of people who are either just not aware or newly awakening, right? Pluto and Aquarius, right? We're leaving the Piscean age and we're the precipice, as I like to say, pinky toe in the water in the age of Aquarius. And so you're going to have more and more people every day wanting to understand all of this lingo from the health side to the spiritual side, all of it. So I think that's really important. And Paris, you guys, even after the show, let me just say this, even after the show, you guys can come back and leave questions in the comment section, and Paris can check in a day or two and answer some of the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for Venus, do send us an
Yeah,
email.
definitely email me.
Write your
Yeah.
questions, because she's asking like how long do you
Yeah.
simmer it, just different things. So send those questions, because it's hard for us to be able to address you here in this setting, but
Yeah.
we will
Yes,
definitely
please.
get those answers.
But
to
everybody
you.
start putting in
Jazz,
your
Aphrodite is
hey,
here.
Jazz.
Hello.
Hey,
I got my
Jazz.
throat all off, and I'm fighting
Our-
off
I
some
know,
kind
our
of
cold-
cold and whatever.
boys have been
Really?
sick. So the twins were home yesterday from school. They went back to school today, and then today the 15-year-old was sick.
Yeah, and
they're trying to mess us
I
up.
caught one of my twins drinking out of my water bottle, and I'm like, "What's up?" Like, I'm ready.
Do you guys take oregano oil?
Yes, we
We
do.
do.
Every
And actually, I
all
think
the
that's
time.
why, like, they've been getting sick. They refuse to take it. You can only lead a horse to water. Anyway,
But yes, we do the oregano
I
oil.
feel like
You know what else
I'm
is
at
really
my
good for the
end.
children?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Besides elderberry, which a lot of people like, my daughter, she doesn't like elderberry. There's a herb that I have called honeysuckle, and honeysuckle is really good for the children. It'll get straight into and it removes all the phlegm and everything out the body.
Nice. Okay, I didn't know that. All
right.
right. See, guys, thank you.
See,
Right,
Honeysuckle.
Tom?
Paris
Thank
is
you.
filled with a wealth of
Oh my
knowledge.
goodness.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go.
That's Dr. Sebi. That was Dr. Sebi right there. I learned that
Yeah,
from him.
you know,
I learned
we've
that.
all
that
we honor his memory because, you know, I mean, even you guys, the importance of making sure that you have iron, magnesium, vitamin D.
Yes, that's the main killer. People do, you know, iron. Their iron is
so
low.
important.
That's why I love the dandelion. You could go so many places with dandelion root, dandelion leaf, getting the actual dandelion. It's so easy.
Oh, is that
And
filled with iron
it
too,
works.
the dandelion?
Oh,
Really?
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Iron, dandelion. Just adding it to your daily routines, daily habits is very important.
That's awesome.
So Sia Aniari is here. So nice
Hey,
to see
Sia,
you.
missed you.
Mama Miss is talking about the strong taste that's nasty, the aftertaste of oregano oil. Yes, it can.
It is, but when
you
you're
gotta
sick,
get
you
that
got to do
water.
it. Yep.
And
It works. It works.
Yes, it
Sometimes I
does.
put 6 drops, but I've been just putting 3 drops. You get enough, and it works. So 3 drops, drink it real fast, Mama.
Take it
And
like
then
it's
follow
like
it.
when you used to do shots of alcohol, Mama. Now you got to do a shot of oregano oil. That's all.
Yeah. Or making it to a hot
Ooh,
toddy,
the hot
add it to your
toddies.
tea.
Okay, see, I always do it in cool water, because sometimes I know if you make things too hot, you can burn the oil. You know, it can kill off some of the properties. But I guess it won't be that hot. The extended
You
period.
know, the tincture is 100%, you know. So if you add it to not like a hot tea, you add it when it's a little cool down, you just throw you're good right there. You don't have to, like, you know,
See, we use the
endure
oil,
the nasty
which I think that
the oil is the
we
best.
use the oil.
Yeah, that's how I tincture. That's how I tincture my oregano. Is I get the oregano and I blend it, and then I use the tincture machine and I make it into oregano oil.
That's
Tincture
nice.
machine. That's where you have to put us up on some game. Now
I love
we
tincture
have
machine.
TK here.
Hey, TK.
April 2nd, 1984.
April 2nd, 1984 for TK. Do they have
How
a
do I attract financial abundance? That's on everybody's mind, TK.
Well, listen, they're in Aries and they're Pluto Scorpio.
Coco Locks, hello to you as well.
So you're gonna give them the tarot reading. I'll just tell them, you know, you're gonna attract it by initiating, by being the boss, going for it. But what do you say with the tarot cards for them?
That's interesting. You said that. The first thing is that you have to change your mindset, for sure. You know, TK, I would say it's very important for you to start your days with already visualizing what is it that you want. You are a person here that you can manifest anything, but your mind is very it has to be on a positive scale. If you're thinking I want money, but you don't have a positive mindset of getting out of the scarcity mindset, then you're not going to be able to really attract what you want. So I would say the first thing that you want to do is write it down, right? Write it down and then start your days off with already envisioning how. And start with small increments. They're saying start with manifesting little things. you know, you're going to start to see more things start to manifest for you, but you have to change your mindset. So if you don't change your mindset, definitely when it comes down to the way that you see abundance, what's going to happen is as fast as it comes, as fast as it goes, or it will be very unstable. So it's very important for you to make sure that you have a mindset of the magician in the Five of Pentacles in reverse, being able to attract finances in different ways. Don't play it small as well. So don't just go for one thing. Try to find different ways to make your income happen for you.
All right. Who's next?
So we have Alet Unique's Understanding, and this is Quintella.
Okay.
And
Hey, Quintella.
she has a question. I would love a reading tonight. I have been getting told a lot lately that I have a blockage. Been feeling this for quite some time, but I don't know what it is. So that I can work through it or how to.
Okay. What's her name?
Quintella.
Quintella.
Quintella, we got a schedule for early next week. Okay.
All right, Quintella. All right. Yeah, I definitely see there's a blockage here. It definitely, when it comes down to people from your past, you probably need to do like what they will call a cord cutting cleanse. I definitely feel like there's some cords that is still connected to you that is definitely stopping you from moving forward. So I would definitely say, you know, maybe looking into cord cuttings. I have some herbs that would be really good for that. I will also say that you need to get more rest. Okay, there's something here about your rest, or your diet could be off. But yes, there's definitely blockage here. The blockage is definitely around like your solar plexus and around the belly area right here. That's where the blockage is all. You definitely need to do some shadow work as well. Shadow work is definitely something here that you need to do. Solitude as well. Definitely need some solitude.
What types of herbs are for the cord cutting? Because a lot of people in our culture, we don't know about that. I had a cord cutting ceremony, what's it been, a couple years now? And it was deep. I had a shamanic surgeon do it for me. And she got in there because we are all supposed to be cut from our mothers. In our teen years. It might be anywhere from as early as 12 up to like 15, 16. But too much longer than that, what happens is that cord remains intact. And then that person, not that they're trying to do you wrong, but they end up drawing your strength from you if you don't cut that cord. So I had my mother's cord still on me, and I was 50 or over 50. My son, he's 25 now, and I cut his cord. He must have been 23, 24. So I mean, I was late with him, but nowhere near. But the point is, even the relationship between my mother and I got better after that cord was cut. And there was this period of time where it was a little bit, I could tell she was unsure. Like she felt it, even though she didn't know that I had done this or anything. But she felt it.
It's real deep. It's real deep,
so,
you guys.
Very, very powerful thing to do. We should maybe, there's some different places that you can go to get that done. What kind of herbs do you do the cord cutting?
Yeah, so I dabble heavily into herbal magic. That's you know, they will call me like a green witch, right? But herbs has a spiritual, just like it has a beneficial, herbs also have spiritual effects. So like herbs like hyssop. Hyssop is a holy herb, is in the Bible, and it's also known to help with many things. I have a cord cutting wash, but the main herb that I use for cord cutting is called black walnut husk.
Yes, okay, absolutely.
The black walnut husk, and I also add I add a leaf from the Native Americans, and I soak it with the black walnut husk. All right. So my cord cutting cleanse, I've healed so many people. I'm talking about people from different places, but what you said is so true when it comes down to family, and also cords could come from people that from your job, people that you talk to on the phone, the people that you touch. There's so many different cords that we have, but your parents are definitely your mother, and her trauma and then her lineage, and the inheritance from that is also a big cord as well. So yes, this goes deep, and you just don't do one cord. Like I tell people that gets a cord cutting cleanse from me, a wash, is you will need to come back within the next 2 to 3 months to be able to cut all the cords that you had prior. So it's deep.
I actually felt, because I had a hysterectomy, and after I went through, I had a shamanic surgeon who's just, anyways, I actually felt, I could feel my belly. It felt like I had a hysterectomy again. Like I could feel the void where this energetic thing was removed. So it is
Yes.
really,
It's
really
real.
deep,
Yeah,
guys.
it's
Yeah, it's deep.
So we have Venus Amatone. You got to tell me how to pronounce your name. In that email, please break that down. But she says, what best careers for me to pursue? Venus Amatone.
Does she say her birthday or anything?
I don't
Okay.
see her
You guys can
saying
put your
that.
birthdays with the question, okay? But go ahead.
She said what?
What
Is the-
career or best careers for me to pursue this time in my life? Only working part-time now, and I would love to intern with you, Paris. So
Ooh.
she wants to work with you. Oh,
Yeah. That's so funny. She has
Well, say no. Say the date.
it's okay. She has the title card in reverse, which means that she definitely needs to know that whatever she's doing right now is not going to grow. She's in a field where she's not happy, she's not fulfilled. What she needs to be doing something here that has to do with family. It would be really good for her to do stuff that has to do with family, or being a part of the community, even helping people with addictions. Okay, she would be a good nurse, or someone here that, I don't know if she has like North Node in the 12th house or something like that, but I'm just getting like 12th house energy, where she would do really good with like helping people heal, helping people, resurrect
her
from
birthday is April
addiction.
4th, 1961. She was born in Memphis. We won't be able to see like where everything is. That needs to be put in for a chart.
Yeah.
But
Well, but
she
she's Pluto. She's Pluto Virgo, and she's in she's April, so she's in Aries,
and she does like helping people. She said.
So that's really good. Yeah, that's
Yeah, she would do really good with helping people, in that field. Anything that has to do with healing, if that is like Reiki, if that's getting into their being a therapist, or helping people like that, she would do really well in those fields.
Yeah, and Coco Locks, you do need to cut that cord. And if you have children, you need to do. So I had to do both sessions.
Yeah.
I did them at different times. I first did the cord between my mother and myself, and then I went back a few months later and did my eldest son.
Well, then we do the second son.
And and we've done now
We did the
2 of our
15-year-old,
sons. So my last 2.
It's very important to get the children. You have to get the children.
It's really good. We did the 15-year-old.
The last 2, I've been told I've got like another year. They're 11. And I've been told I got like another.
I think it was 13 for them.
Yeah, 13 is just like
13
she told me
is
the
their
month.
age
I've
for
got to
the
look back on that, but she tapped in on that. But we'll be doing that as well. It's powerful because by cutting those cords, it allows for them to energetically be who they were born into this world to be.
To not have that soul tie and attachment.
Think about a tether ball that you're slapping around that pole. We're not supposed to be tethered to a pole, and that's what ends up happening. And that also creates a lot of these relationships that are not passive aggressive, but what's the word I'm thinking about? Maybe passive aggressive is that word. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm probably getting in here talking too much. Stephen Lascala is an herb person. I did not know that. That is so good to know all that. And Mama Miss is talking about her Chickasaw background and the walnuts. Let's see.
Anybody else would want a tarot reading?
Alex says thank you. Yeah. Let's see.
You could ask a question.
Anybody else have any more questions? Because I think I kind of missed it. I don't see any more questions. So
But just to go back to the cord cutting as well, since we have a little
Yeah.
time to talk, um, you know, so I study a Yoruba, right? My family is Honduran, we Garifuna, but when you go back, the Garifuna people come from Nigeria, so I am heavily into Ifa, and in Ifa, and when I got my first Ifa reading, one of the things that they spoke about was because they asked about your mom, they want to know the lineage of your mother, right? And they're like, listen, you gotta cut the cord between your daughter and you, from her father's side. And so you don't, sometimes you think that you're doing good by just doing you good. No, you have to get the children too, because then when they get older, they have all these problems and they're going through adversity. And if you would have just done the spiritual work when they were young, just like being
Yes,
baptized or
yes.
whatever, it's a spiritual hygiene. And then they're going to school. You don't know how these teachers are, right? That's why it's good to pray over your children to make sure that there's a lot to
Every
go
night,
with
yes,
every
Sia
night.
Ani says that she did a cord cutting ceremony, and it took her like a year, I guess, to integrate everything.
Oh my God, the side effects, definitely when you do my cord cutting cleanse, right? Because the thing about the walnut husk, it's also a herb, it's a bark that you can use to detox your body, right? So what happens is that you're going to go through a big detox as well, when you might cough out a lot of
Yeah.
phlegm. There's people that have gotten that they started to feel things that they never felt before. They started to see things they never seen before because they're open now. They have all these people, you have all these energies that was connected to you. So it's very important for us to do as you guys doing these shows, you never know who's watching, you don't know who has those evil eyes. So it's really good to keep that spiritual
Yes.
hygiene
Always.
up to
Yeah.
par.
Yeah, cut that when you get done and do that spiritual bath.
Sometimes Sage ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? People be too caught up on
And
the
Coco
Sage.
Locks is going to be hitting you up for sure. She's fabulous. We love her.
Yeah, Coco Locks is amazing.
But yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of people because we had people questioning about that. And I didn't do anything with the teas and all that. But I have a question for you since we're not getting a ton of other things. Parasites. That's the big thing right now.
Yeah. So parasites, one of the herbs I love, it's called wormwood.
Yes, wormwood.
Wormwood is really good for the parasites. That gets straight into it, man. That cleans you out. Wormwood. Another one is cerasseed. Again, that's from the Caribbean. It's a vine.
Say it again.
And the
Sarah
cerasseed
seed?
vine. Yes, cerasseed. CERESSE. Cerasseed is a
Okay.
vine, and it's known in everywhere in the Central America. There's in Costa Rica, Guyana, Jamaica, Honduras, right? And you boil this cerasseed vine, and it does similar to the wormwood, but the wormwood and cerasseed together cleanse out the parasites in your
Wow.
body. Cleans it
That
out.
sounds good. And do you make like a tea with it or?
I make them into capsules because it's just so
Okay.
bitter. I really can. Another good one to clean the parasite is called cassia wood. The cassia is really, really good, but it's so bitter as well. So like I like to make those things. I make capsules. I like to make those things
It
into
seems like
capsules,
it's
or I
always
make
the
a
bitters
tonic.
that get you better, right?
Yeah. Unless I'm making it into a tonic and I just take one big swig before
Well,
going to sleep.
Eric and I have been doing these cleanses. We did a 16-day cleanse right prior to Christmas. Then we committed to do a 1 week of a cleanse every month. So we did it for January and February. We're coming
We've
up.
been doing a master cleanse and we do it.
And so
it's been really
we
beneficial.
do that, but I think maybe we can integrate some of the teas. But
Yeah.
when we did that 16-day, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep it real. If y'all aren't looking at what's coming out of your body,
Oh,
you need
that's
to
so
be looking. We
important.
kind of have this thing where it's like, ew, no, I don't want to look at that. No, you need to see because
No,
It tells you
I
about your
always
tells you
health.
what is
Yeah.
going on with your body. And when we don't pay attention,
yes.
things can creep up on us. But the reality is it's not creeping up. It's been there. We just refuse to look because our culture says, ooh, that's nasty. Don't look. But when we were doing
You have
that
to look.
first cleanse, I saw like all these little white things in there, and I was like,
Yeah.
those were parasites.
Yeah, they were parasites. Sometimes you see
They were
worms,
little white.
you know, the
I didn't see
tapeworms.
any big ones, but I saw a bunch of those little ones.
Yeah. And sometimes they be dead, you know, and your feces could tell a lot about it. Like I share this on my Patreon all the time. If your feces is too wet, that means that you lack iron. If you're too constipated, that means that you have weight. You need to make sure that you drink a little bit more water. Like if it's too heavy, right? If it hits the bottom of it, that's not good enough. If it floats, that's good. So there's ways that you could be able to really study
If
the
it's too
feces to
heavy,
be able to
it's not
see.
good.
If it's too heavy, if it scrapes the toilet bowl, that's not good.
Because
It should float. It should
okay.
float. It shouldn't.
Well,
It
no,
shouldn't
those
be
float,
so
but, like,
heavy because
I guess what happens is they're really long.
that's
It
good.
just like
That's
goes
good.
straight, and it just like goes in the.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so Coco Locks has a question. She's getting a little political with us.
Okay.
All right.
So let's go there now. She said, with our new health inspector, RFK, does Miss Paris
Oof.
think she would have to be more guarded with her holistic practice?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, I would think he would be
They
more
already
open
started,
to it because he's anti-big pharma.
but there's certain, like when you talk about selling herbs now, they've already banned a lot of the Chinese herbs that I have. I can't sell a lot of herbs no more. Like what is a herb that I have here that I can't sell? I believe ginkgo. They took off ginkgo off the website. The barks, some barks I can't
And
sell.
ginkgo is good for the
Or I have
brain.
And
We need that.
ginkgo is so important for the brain.
they
But wait,
banned
this
the
is what's crazy
ginkgo.
about it. I could go drive to Costco right now
And get
pick
ginkgo
up some
biloba, yeah.
ginkgo biloba right off the shelf. It's all over the
But
place.
probably not 100% ginkgo
Huh?
then. You know, I believe that
Well-
they are just like green tea, right? Green tea, people think that green tea is just like it's healthy. There's different levels of green tea. Like I have one of the strongest green teas called Yanwu green tea. A lot of the green teas that we're getting is like low
But that's
grade
what I'm
green
trying to
teas
say
in
right
America.
now. It's
Yeah.
like I could go to Costco and buy this packaged, processed ginkgo biloba from Costco, but if I want to just get the herb, they're taking it off. I mean, I want you guys to really think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Why
they
the
want to
difference?
be able to control
They
it
want to control it, but
and have it,
also
but not
they
have you
do
get it
stuff.
naturally. Yeah.
They do stuff to it.
They won't let you even yes, one person wrote astragalus. That was another one that they made me take down quick. A lot of the Chinese herbs that I have, they made me take them shits down quick. And like some of the barks I had to the cocoa mecca, that one they banned that, and then I
I
was able
never
to put
heard
it
of
back
cocoa
up
mecca.
and
What
take
does that do? What is that?
cocoa mecca helps with stimulating the libido. If so people having problems with the libido, really good. Help cleans out the blood, helps with blood pressure. Everything, King, everything. Men and women could be able to use the cocoa mecca, and the one that I got mine from is from Costa Rica. And I remember Dr. Sebi spoke about this, right? Because he went to the Mexicans, which is
Yes.
so interesting to get to learn
You
about.
taught
Wait,
him,
let's
yeah.
stop for just a minute though. You know, we're taught like the Mexicans are different than the blacks, or different than the Dominicans, or different than. Are we really that different?
Nope.
Exactly, guys. We are not.
And wait, and let me
Keep that
just
in
say this.
mind.
Let me say this. That
Different
the Mexican,
names.
but
Different
remember
names.
it was the black Mexican president who kind of fought off and led them against the Spaniards, and then after they got their freedom and liberation, then they wanted to get rid of him and voted out. I know on the far coast there's a lot of black Mexicans, and but the lineage is all the same. This is all stuff that
Yes.
we've got to really understand. We're all very
I love
indigenous to this
medicine.
land,
Yes.
She
Yeah, man.
said that greens, her body doesn't like it, kale and stuff. She had, I mean, I'm assuming you mean digestion issues for breaking them down. Is there like an enzyme or something you think that she might need or something for that?
She said that
She has a hard time with
if-
greens. They don't do well in her body. She said like kale.
Okay, then that means that she probably is an O blood type.
Mhm.
And that means that she just has a lot of acid in her body. So what I would do is I would add more kelp, like seaweeds in your diet. Sea moss would be
Yeah.
really good. Sea kelp, spirulina, right? They have liquid chlorophyll. If you
I
don't like,
love the
if you
liquid
can't take
chlorophyll.
liquid chlorophyll will be good. You can add that. That also helps with deodorizing your body, and helping with your with everything. I love liquid chlorophyll. That would be really, really
Yeah.
good. You could get the Coco Mecca on the website. I
You
have
have
it
it?
on my
Okay. Coco
website.
Mecca. Yeah.
Now, as we're talking, I'm
Mhm.
like, you need to be a part of our group because I want to see. We're gonna be launching a group online, and unlike a lot of people where they don't want people to talk and they don't want people, our whole thing is going to be for quote unquote small business to share what they do. But
Yeah.
I'm envisioning sections where we have the herbal section where maybe if you're open
Yeah.
to coming on there
And
and
doing a
moderating and
presentation.
sharing
Yeah. Yeah.
and talking to people.
A lot of the times they try to shadow ban.
No, I'm doing
Once
this.
I started
Yeah.
talking
No,
We're
about
doing
I'm,
herbs on
I'm,
private.
Instagram,
I'm
This
building
is a
my own
private
community.
group that
Yeah.
people can be a part of where there'll be
yeah,
no.
they shadow ban a lot of us. Even this video probably is going to get
It,
shadow banned because
it
of what
might,
we're talking
but
about, certain
this group
things.
that we're doing, this is private. This is going to be on a subdomain, completely housed out. It's going to be 100% private so that these conversations will not get censored. We were censored once. We're not being censored anymore. We are very close to getting this particular thing built and up, but I would love to have you. We got to talk to maybe do
Because
that
I
and share, because this is something that people need. Look at
yeah.
everybody talking here.
Well, I think in general,
Yeah.
Paris, what's really important in terms of what you're gifted in and what you do, having that Uranus Neptune on the ascendant, it's like you can, your energy in itself can inspire people, right? And to be more innovative and to find their inner rebel so that they can connect to the forest, like even forest bathing and nature and all these things. And I think this is where
Very
you're so
important.
gifted with it, with having that Virgo moon is also trining the Uranus and Neptune on the ascendant from the 9th house to the 1st. And so for you, it's very intuitive and natural. And for others, they would need you to guide and mentor and teach them. And that's what I was saying, your Virgo moon in 9th house, this is, sort of, coming up, more so in the future for you, but definitely, between 32 and 44 years old, this is like the second, the third book, but a lot of mentoring and teaching.
You know what's so
Mhm.
funny? I already started to tell my channel because they're very connected to me in the tarot sense, but I've been guided to go more into
Yes.
teaching now. And I'm not saying I want to put the tarot
Yeah. No, it can all
down, but
merge together.
it's
But yeah, you're going to be
it
teaching more
merges.
about the healing and the herbs too. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Exactly. And people need it. People need
We
it.
all need it.
There's a lot of tarot readers. There's a lot of tarot
Yeah.
readers, and I mean, I'm special because I could see things, I could feel things, but I want to I'm always about the innovation. So I'm ready to take it to what people are not seeing now. Within a year, they're gonna be like, wow, I want to take a course. And then
There
Paris
you
pops up
go.
with the course. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm already
Because I want
thinking
you to
these
know
places.
with your second house, Pluto's there to 2044. And so everybody, you can look in your birth chart and see where you have Aquarius. But Pluto, what it does is it will dig up the shadow of science, medicine, crypto,
Yeah.
these nonprofits, these organizations that have been fugazi. And so we're going to see the truth about AI, all this stuff. And this is where,
Oh
as a
yeah.
collective, and for you, you're going to be extremely magnetic in your speech about innovation and freedom and liberation, but helping people with the proper food. And just like how you brought in the blood types, that's very important knowledge for people.
I love the blood types. I'm obsessed with
Yeah.
blood types.
No, it's
Obsessed.
very important to know.
It's very ancient. And a lot of us have genetically in our bloodline through the blood type that you have. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? So looking into blood
We'll
types is
see us
amazing.
talking about a genetic quote unquote disorder that she has where she is deficient in enzymes. It's a G6PD. So I had it up here. Glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogease. I might be saying that wrong, but so she's wanting different things, and I'm sure there's help.
Well, you should just reach out to Paris and contact her.
What is your website? I'm being asked that.
pwcollections.com.
Yeah, pwcollections.com.
And I was on there earlier.
Yeah, it's down below in the description, but we're going to put it in the chat because, Paris has a wealth of knowledge, you guys. So, hey, this is why it's called Knowledge is Love, right? Yeah. And I want you guys to really reach out and book with her and connect with her because
this is the type of stuff that we're going to have information like this in our group. Now I'm talking I would love if you would open hopping in there and sharing because we need this information and we need to do it in private spaces because as you said, that shadow ban is real.
Yeah. So any couple more tarot readings before we say goodnight? Any questions? Or hey, listen, I want to get one. So let me okay, so
you read me. You tell me a little bit what you see in for me, and I'm gonna pull some cards like you do.
So this is my question, right? I'm September 10th, 1970, and my question is, is this a good year to do a lot of speaking engagements and public speaking for me? I'm going to be trying to release 2 books this year. The astrology book is coming first, then the NDE book. But do you see me getting out and doing more speaking engagements and things like that this year?
Yeah, they said they kept on as soon as before you just said speaking, they said November, something here about, and I believe the first time when I was on Lloyd Stranghorn's channel, we said something about November, but absolutely yes to the speaking. They just kept on saying November. Wow. They definitely are talking about you being like, don't hesitate. Do not hesitate and follow your intuition when it comes down to everything, right? Write it down. They said you have projects that you have done in the past that you also need to bring back in now. So I don't know if you have written
that may be some stuff even around the music or even screenplays.
Okay, that's it. That is exactly what they're talking about.
Say it again, what?
That's what they're saying. They said it will be really good for you to incorporate the music, the screenplays, the visuals. Okay. Definitely with your wife here. Your wife will play a big role when it comes down to the graphic designing here. They said that, don't be afraid to expose the things that you have learned in your past. That will be a challenge for you. They said to expose and do it in a more creative way when it comes down to maybe like, and we talked about the shadow band, but they say you have a lot. They have a lot. And your advice is that you have things that you have done in the past, like they're talking about that you need to bring back. You have like unfinished business when it comes down to a lot of the things that you do, what you're doing. So yes, they say you could go in multiple different streams. Well, you're going to be very busy. They said bring out the projects that you haven't finished up before. And they definitely said that how you have unfinished business. There's things that you have done in the past that you haven't finished up. They say you need to finish those before you can even think about doing what you're doing right now. Yes, they're very serious. They also said, I know this is this is so very detailed, but they said if you was to put water underneath your bed, like put like a bowl of water or something like that underneath your bed, that will help you with your dreams. And drink a lot of water before going to sleep. I don't know why, but it would be good to have water by your bed or underneath the bed, so you could be able to really like tap into your dream.
That makes sense, especially because right now the North Node is back in Pisces, and I'm a Pisces North Node, and so that totally resonates.
Or even a water fountain. Okay, I don't know if you guys are into feng shui, but they said, and when you incorporate water into your maybe even water sounds. I don't know if that's something here that you would be interested in, but adding water sounds to maybe incorporating water sounds into your business would be really good. But they said sounds So I don't know if that was the music part, but they definitely said incorporating
Wow.
water.
So
Follow your
we
intuition.
That's
had
deep.
Venus Amatol. Sorry, sweetie. She said you're a true. She's speaking to you, babe.
Okay.
She said you're a true Virgo, Big E, for speaking engagement. She picked up on that. She said she wanted to know where your Mercury is.
My Mercury is in
she
Virgo.
feels Leo energy from it.
No, the Leo's in my 10th house. I don't have nothing in Leo, no fire. My Virgo's in Mercury, but you have to understand, because I'm a Scorpio rising, it's kind of fiery. So, but that's my fire, because Mars and Scorpio is like. So I think of Scorpio, just so you know, Paris. I think of Scorpio as like the fourth fire sign because it's ruled by Mars, and then I think of Virgo kind of like the fourth air sign because it's ruled by Mercury. So I'm very Virgo and Scorpio in terms of my chart, you guys. I've got huge stelliums. So yeah, but my Mercury is in the 11th house in Virgo, and the Mercury and the Mars is what I really use to analyze and attack the birth chart. I'm very precise and detailed, and just but I'm the recovered Virgo. I'm not caught up in the perfectionism anymore. I know, right?
That's me.
C has a question.
Oh, what's up? C's got a question for you.
He's here all the time. Thank you so much. We love
What's
you
up,
again,
C?
Super chat. Is there any guidance available for the year 2025 that you could offer me? 11/3/85 is a birthday.
Okay. It's that Sag, 11/3/85, Pluto Scorpio.
They got a lot going on here. Wow. Okay, so first things first, there's something here about you needing to disconnect from people from your past. You have some people that you are still connected to that are just kind of leechy. They said that there's no compromise here. Okay, you are like told to move on with your life when it comes down to disconnecting from people from your past. It's like, you're trying to keep people that don't even need to be kept. You guys don't share anything on a high vibration. The only reason why I said that is because you got 3 of Pentacles coming out in reverse, and there's no compromise there. You also have the 7 of Cups in reverse, which speaks about people that you might even come across people that like to call you and complain. People that always want
The
to kind of like
complainers, gossipers, yeah, you got to cut them off. Yeah.
you got to cut them off. There's definitely something here about your worth. Your price went up, right? Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, but you need to make sure that you could be able to just leave them where they're at. You're also being told that you're going to be getting something here that you wanted, okay? Or something here that you have desired. They said by like the 9th month. I don't know what month is the 9th month.
September, Virgo.
September, Virgo. So around Virgo season, you're going to be seeing something here. They say even before Virgo season, you're going to be knowing, but the first thing that you need to do is cut people from your past. You have to cut them off. It's too much going on right here. And for you to be able to do that, you will be able to get the justice that you deserve. You need to call back your power for sure.
Wow. Okay. See, okay.
So he just corrected his birthday is 86, not 85.
That's okay.
That makes a difference.
That's fine. I was going off of just
the
energy.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I'm like, oh, I want a reading too. I'm like, tell me what's going on. I'm talking to people, and we're talking about putting the CBD and the plant medicine into Sabale Pure.
Well, tell her your birthday.
So my birthday is February 26, 1973, and
what's your question?
Well, it just feels like there's so much coming at me. I don't even know where to begin. So Sabale, I know I've got to market that more. I'm having an opportunity to potentially do, as I said, CBD and some THC products, and I'm wanting to make sure that that's a good space for me to get into.
Okay. Oh yeah. Really big. Really big. Really big. There's going to be, yes. Good to go. My biggest thing for you need to just make sure that you balance your work life with your rest life. You need to make sure that you are getting more rest or doing more things as far as like doing more self-care. They're saying like the self-care, like if that is going to like the sauna, or maybe going to doing something nice, soaking your feet, going to the spas, doing something like that, that could be able to help with your self-care. But other than that, when it comes down to your career and where you're going, there's a lot ahead of you. Now, you will encounter some people that as you're going to start to grow, you're going to notice that there's going to be some people that's going to be a little irritated, right? Either they're not going to tell you, or you're going to notice by just how you pivot and how certain people might look at you. So um just be careful, be aware, be wary of what you say before you actually get it done, right? You want to do it and then say it. Don't say it before you do it, because then, you're going to have people that's going to be like, oh, you can't do that, or blah, 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 blah. So be careful of that. But there is going to be a little hateration here that I'm picking up. I don't know if this is going to be like some clients, customers, or a bad review. But other than that, I feel like you're going to be pivoting, and you're going to meet really good people. You're going to market yourself. You're going to meet. You're going to shake hands with some good people this year, and you're going to be able to really do well with the company. Ten of Pentacles. I see some big business here.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
That
I'm
sounds
starting
good.
to make some of these connections now, and it's
Yeah.
pretty
Mhm.
fabulous.
They said by Gemini season for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys,
Mhm.
you have the website. This is the woman.
So
You need to
wait.
follow up.
Is there one more? One more.
Let's see, what else do we have? And thank you, Teresa Miller said happy birthday. Have
Hey,
a born
Teresa
day
Miller.
to me. Thank you.
Well, listen, you guys,
And
she'll be on next
then,
Friday. Sabali Pura will be on.
we
Alana.
have Kai Love.
guess.
She's a Libra, September 24th.
Okay. What's her question?
I
September
don't know.
24th.
I don't have a
Okay.
lot of direct questions. Did I miss any questions? If I, for some reason, missed your question, please put it back down in here. How do you Paris? How do you handle channeling all the energies on the live and still be able to just read one person without other energies interrupting?
Well, that's a good question.
Woo!
I've been reading for years, right? And before you could really be able to read anyone, you have to learn how to it's like a big shock. I don't know if it's like a Pluto energy or something like that.
Well, you have the Pluto. Let
it's
me
like
tell you.
this-
So you have the Pluto in the 11th house, right? And so what happens
Yeah.
is, right, you're a millennial, Gen Y, Pluto in the 11th house, you are able to sort of it's sort of like a double entendre in a sense. So in one sense, yin yang, you can transmute out energies, but then at the same time, you can magnify the energies you need for the collective and the group over the internet. So it's quite literal.
Yeah.
And you're empathic. So you're intuitive, you're psychic, and you're an empath, and you're a seer.
Mhm.
So it's like you got a pretty cool chart. So
It's a
with
very.
Pluto in the 11th
I'm
house,
able
that's
to.
how she does this, you
Mhm.
guys. Pluto, Scorpio, 11th house
Yeah.
as the cap rising, plus the Uranus, Neptune, plus the Virgo, Moon, Pisces, Sun, 3rd, 9th house access. So for her, she's an intuitive psychic communicator. And so this is how she does it. Okay.
Yeah. And I do a lot of my spiritual hygiene is impeccable. As a spiritual person, I pray every day, and I do a lot of spiritual
good.
work to be able to keep my aura
And to
high,
keep your gifts
heightened.
working and floating. Yeah, that's
So
important.
do you do
Yeah.
clearings every day?
Yeah, my best thing, I love washes. We call it baños. I love a good baño. I use different herbs, different barks. Like after this, I'll do a baño after this to be able to cleanse. But my best things is washes. Like that's what I really specialize is the wash, right? The water. I did a lot of hydrotherapy, a lot of water therapy, right? And like I like he said, I transmuted. I'm also in human design. I'm a generator, I
You know your
believe.
numbers?
So
I'm a 1-3 generator.
I
Okay.
don't know. I had somebody do my human design. They said I could see why you're always working, because you just don't know how to.
Generator.
But when I crash out, man. I'll be down for like 3 days after. But yes, I don't
Well, let
even
me
know how
just
I
give you
do it.
another little tip though too, because the first house is the upper jaw to the crown chakra, and you have the Uranus and Neptune there. And so one thing that's very important for you too is even after you're doing your work, and you could cut cords or your wash or whatever. But I want you also to rub behind the ears and the back of the neck, around the cerebral cortex, the stem there, because that's the
Okay.
motherboard. That's where Uranus exists, and it's in your first house. So it's very important for you for head massages, also around the temples, back of the ears, and back of the head. That'll be
That's
very
so
important for you.
interesting. I always add oil. I anoint my oils in the middle of
There
my
you
head
go.
as well. So I'll definitely add the in the back.
And
That's
you need the
very interesting.
Sagittarius crystals. I don't have them memorized by heart, but the Sagittarius crystals, one under your pillow and one in the bed with you. That's
Okay.
really, really good.
We gotta look at the
Yeah.
Sagittarius
And you
crystals. I'll
guys,
definitely be
just so
looking
you
at
guys
them.
know, excuse me, the Pisces birth chart sale is rocking now, and that goes to March 19th. Natal chart, solar return, secondary progression is for all Pisces sun, moon, rising. So hit me up, Eric at BigEAstrology.com. And live via Zoom is 165, right, down from 200. And then the mini movie of your life, the custom video summary with transits and you know, all that other stuff,
Wow.
that is 246. So you got multiple options. Pisces, you know, I got you, right? My mom was a Pisces moon and rising. My younger cousin is the Pisces sun, and I married a Pisces wife. So I'm a Pisces North Node. So I'm kind of a Pisces expert. I talk Pisces on the daily.
So, Venus, she has a question, and I think this is something that a lot of people experience is inflammation. How do we put that inflammation fire out and the pain? How do we deal with that with herb?
Ooh, turmeric.
Mm.
Turmeric. I love adding turmeric. Adding turmeric to your diet will help with inflammation instantly. Turmeric capsules. You can actually use a turmeric rub. All right. Turmeric tinctures. Right. Anything turmeric will be really good for
Yeah.
inflammation.
I
Instantly.
make a tooth powder and I put turmeric in it, and I've had people even tell me that their aches and pains will go away.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, but let me
Go
ask you
on.
this: also, adding to the turmeric, wouldn't the cayenne pepper also be good? Because
I was just
that
about to
has
add
the
that, but
blood flow, and whenever you got the flow of
some
blood,
people might not be
there's
like,
no
you
stagnation.
know.
So you,
Yeah, no, I was just gonna add turmeric and cayenne will be
Yep.
perfect. Definitely
Yep.
in the rising time before you start your day, right? You can make you like a tea or you add that to some hot water and then you add those two together, and that's a good blend right there. Even or I wouldn't do too much apple cider vinegar because that's too much acid, but those two together perfectly, turmeric and cayenne, perfect. Even applying it on the body is good.
wow, okay.
So Kai Love says
Yeah.
she recently started her spiritualist journey, and do you see any advice for her? 9/24/81.
9/24/81. She's a Libra with the Pluto in Libra. Whew. Need a book. Need a
Yeah,
book of
I would
reading,
say
girl.
no
Go
people.
ahead.
Just off of what I heard just now, they said try not to people
That's right.
please when it comes down to you gotta have heavy integrity in whatever it is that you're doing here. Um, as far as the tarot is concerned, you have more than tarot in you. Um, don't let people discourage you, but I definitely feel like there's more to you than just tarot. I would definitely recommend maybe getting into another practitioner as well, right? If that is doing massage therapy or if that's doing something here that could be more um, healing for people. But tarot is just not the one way for you. There's multiple different practitioners that you could get into at that see. um but that's all I have for you for sure.
And can we take one more?
Yep.
We have Londa.
And let me just say for Kai real quick, remember your soul is here to learn its lessons through the lens of relationships, but you've got to have the most important relationship is loving Kai love. That self-love is going to be the key to unlock everything else for you. Okay, my friend?
Yeah, make sure she got to finish what she
Yeah.
start too. She's a type of person where you get into something because it's like it's cool, and then you get discouraged. So that's why I said don't get discouraged. Definitely when you hear like one thing that someone says, like if you want to do it, then do it. But I will say open up the avenues for different things, because I don't feel like tarot is exactly going to be like your end all be all. I see you doing other things as well.
And let's see. So Londa, 7475. I'm making a lot of changes. Any guidance on keeping the peace? Any guidance on keeping peace?
You're making a lot
He's
of
the Cancer with
changes.
the Pluto Libra, another Pluto Libra, Cancer Sun.
I'm going to tell you this. They're saying there's a lot of people around you that you also need to leave behind. You might be dealing with a lot of selfish people, people that like to like hold things behind. You might be around a lot of stuck people that's always stuck around, like they're very stuck in their ways. You have Seven of Swords. You need more people that's going to be more optimistic, people that's going to help you find solutions, not just sit with the problems, not people that's going to listen to you, not give you solutions to your problems. You need people that's going to be like, listen, well, if this is happening here, maybe you should take this, you should do this. You need to have more friends, more bonds that are more positive than negative, or people that try to hold back, people that are stuck, right? So you have to look at the friendships that you have and see, is it outdated? Is these people that I'm around outdated? Am I around people that, you know, they know me from this amount, and maybe it's time for me to pivot from that? Because what I'm getting here is that you're around a lot of people that are very stuck in their ways, but they don't want to help. They don't want to help. They just see you as who
They're
you are
putting
right
her in
now.
a
So
box, in a
We are
container.
living
Yeah.
during a time of sifting. And for people who are read the Bible, this is the time of sifting. And we have to be able to let go of the things that aren't good for us. Perry G is here. And
What's up, Perry G?
You did his
Yes. What's up, brother?
He said that last year I beat cancer after your reading, Biggie.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We are so happy to hear
Congrats,
that you
Perry
are
G.
doing better. And you're probably incorporating some of this herb stuff, but you got to follow up with Paris here too.
Head up to Paris.
Strong.
Yeah.
Do you feel anything on Perry G at all? He didn't ask.
I know Perry. He's a
Oh.
Capricorn. I know him well. He's a Perry. Perry's a he's gonna pivot from the things that he been through for sure. I know Perry like really well, and I know that he has a lot of greatness within him, and the only person that's gonna stop him is himself.
Perry,
you know what I'm saying?
Perry is he's him and his wife and kids. Perry's a deep brother, man, and he's
deep.
good.
Even down to his music. His music is very powerful, and he already knows. You feel me? He needs to put that music out there more. You know, don't stop. The only person that's going to be his worst enemy is himself.
All right,
that's
Perry,
it.
you heard that? Yeah,
All right.
and hit me up, brother. I ain't heard
Now,
from you in a minute.
Everybody here, you need to like, follow, subscribe to both of us. Big E Astrology and Paris Williams.
Yeah, so go
to keep in contact.
Okay, so go to Saturn's Daughter on YouTube. Go subscribe to her channel.
Yeah.
Follow her on IG.
Yeah.
I could keep you all night. You're tired. I'm tired. We gotta wind this down. But I want you to share again. Number one, I want you to share, a closing message of hope for the collective, whether it's around health or spirituality or a little bit of both. And then also, again, just your IG and your website, since that's the main place you have direct people.
Yes. So my IG is PW Collections LLC with the blue check. My YouTube channel is Saturn's Daughter 47. And my website is www.pwcollections.com. And one thing that I would like to just close out with, definitely as we're going into spring equinox, is that it's definitely time for us to detox internally and externally. You kept on bringing up the cord cutting cleanse, and a lot of us need to cut those cords with a lot of people, and even down to jobs. And I mean, it's going to happen. A lot of people are going to have to change the way that they see comfortability, because there's going to be things that's going to be ripped away, but it's needed to, right? Just like the cord is not a good feeling. Cutting your cord is like literally like something that you have been comfortable with. So when you do the cord cutting cleanse or cord cutting from a job, from people, it's not going to be all happy. It's not going to be peachy clean. but you need to make sure that you are embracing this chaos, because through chaos comes order. So just hold on tight. Don't give up on yourself, but it's time to reassess. Look at these January, February, going into March now. Are you happy with where you're at? Are you happy with where you're at? Are you happy with the goals? Are you doing the same things? Is there things that you need to change right now? And if you don't like it, then now it's time for you to reassess and be better.
I
That's
love
it.
that, my friend. And you know why that message is so perfect and timely? Because I want you guys to know we got Venus retrograde starting late night on the 1st, some places early in the 2nd, right? And that goes to about April 7th. And then we have Mercury retrograde starting on the 14th, and the eclipse on the 15th, and then the solar eclipse in Aries, partial solar eclipse on the 29th. And that eclipse is going to be hitting your Virgo moon, Paris. So that is also going to spark something with you with the next book, but also maybe even a vacation or trip for you, or something around your beliefs and philosophies. Or maybe you even start some of the mentoring around that time, around March 15th, or within the next 6 months of that to September 15th.
You don't even understand. I like I told you before we got off, before we went on, I just invested in my second book. The second book is going to be coming out around the spring equinox, and I'm going on a tour, which I will be doing, going into cities to be able to speak to people in person
Love
and
it.
stuff
Congrats.
like that. So
Congrats. Yeah.
Congratulations for that.
and we have a master class
Oh, yeah,
coming
please
up.
tell
This
everybody.
weekend.
Yeah.
Are interested in tarot, we have a master class on the minor arcanas. I broke down the sections of the tarot and of the master class. I still have the major arcanas on the website for those who are interested. It's already done. And I have the minor arcanas that's happening this Saturday. It's 222. So if
What
anybody that's
time and where can they
interested
go book it on the site?
so on the website, it's a webinar. So they will get the private link, and then everything it will be set from 1 to 5 p.m. Saturday. You will learn about the minor arcanas.
I love that,
Okay,
my friend.
awesome. Just stepping back when you were talking about cleansing and cutting the cords and stuff, this is spiritual, but I even just was told, like, the stuff in your house, guys, the material things,
Yeah.
we have got to be like, something just came to me and said, you got to tell them it is not just, it's all the crap that we have in our house. You don't know who owned different things. You don't know who touched different things. You don't know all of that stuff. We have to start clearing our house and stop being weighed down by material items.
Girl, you don't even understand. I think I had told Big E just now. I started to declutter, right? I started decluttering. I started throwing so much stuff out that you think that you're gonna use, and even down to bed sheets, bedspreads. You're not using it; it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
You buying more bed sheets. You buying more bedspreads. Just throw it out.
I love that.
You
I
know what I'm
love that,
saying?
you guys.
Yeah, so I love
You
that,
know
sis.
what?
You're right. We do
You
need
said
to
to me, I
declutter.
think we're going to know each other. You were right. We're going to know each other. I am just so, I wasn't even supposed to be part of this. I was supposed to just occasionally read a little something. So thank you, because I don't ever get on these lives with my husband like this. But I'm here, and I'm so thankful to meet you, and just enriched so many people here. Thank you so much, guys.
This was so amazing, you guys. Now,
Love.
do me a favor. Not only reach out to her and go and follow her on IG and Saturn's Daughter on YouTube, but share this episode. You don't know who this could truly inspire, awaken, or maybe even have them change their health or how they do things. We can't be afraid to share important podcasts like this. And it's not just because of me and Paris, it's the knowledge and information that was shared. That's power.
Who's gonna help.
Okay. So please like this, and do me a favor. Once we say goodbye, come back and leave a comment, because it helps it grow in the algorithms. But please text it out to your friends, share it on your X or your Facebook or whatever. But don't hesitate, because sometimes it just takes one little message in someone's phone to have them click that can spark a whole revolution in their personal lives.
And let me tell you, the people that you send this to and they're like, oh, God, know why? That's your first clue. They're the ones that got to leave your life. Okay? It's real easy. They're the ones who got to leave.
Yeah.
Swift them out, like you said.
That's true. So Paris, thank you, my friend. And guess what? After you come out with that second book and you do your little tour and you come back and settle, maybe early summer or late spring or whatever, I want you to come back and share the book with the audience, and we can do this again, because this was so powerful and so much fun, my friend.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yes, for being here. We are so blessed. Everybody, thank Ms. Paris.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna
All right,
leave
you
now.
guys, bye. And
Thank
listen,
you.
this was great. 304 Knowledge is Love. Tomorrow, early afternoon, I'm going to be releasing episode 305. This is just the beginning of sharing my family with you for the rest of Black History Month. My oldest son, Elijah Taylor, who is through the fire fitness. You don't want to miss this interview. We touch on everything, and even the beginning of our relationship, of me being his stepfather, him being my stepson. But really now we're just father and son.
Yeah, no.
So it's such a great interview.
Let me tell you, ladies, listen, when we got together, I had a 7-year-old son. It is possible for you to find the love of your life and still put your child first, because there was no compromising that. He was going to take my son, or he wasn't going to have me at all.
That's it.
God bless us. Please know, for any single mom out there, I was a single mom and I was blessed, and you will be blessed too.
Yeah. And she got the right guy, because she didn't even have to ask me. I created, and you'll see in the podcast,
what his match profile said.
Stop. I initiated connecting with him to establish a relationship with him. And that was, my heart and my intention. So don't miss this interview. You'll be glad. And plus, he's also really good as a nutrition and exercise coach.
Congratulations
and all that.
for that.
So yeah, I'm really proud of him. And Paris, you're the best, my friend. Take care.
Yes. One person said, email, please. Email. I am Paris Williams at gmail.com. Exactly what it is. I am Paris Williams at gmail.com.
Okay. And I will put that in the description down below. The website and all that is down there. No, exactly. I'll put it. Yeah. But you guys come back and comment, and listen. Paris will check in maybe in 2 or 3 days and maybe answer some of your questions that you guys put in the comments as well. So please write them down, and Paris will come back and check in. All right. Bye, you guys. Thank you, Paris. Good night.